Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that's good.
2.
Roger. Good afternoon and welcome to 7-2's coverage of the TIO NTFL season, where it's the Crocs taking on St Mary's. Round 8 action. The lads joining me to my left, Ricky Nolan and Matty Hepworth. Matty, let's start with you. A great game on the cards today, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly is. Southern Districts, of course, they suffered their first loss of the season last week. They went down to the Tars by 22 points. Saints, on the other hand, had a big 38-point win against Palmy. Last time they met was, of course, in round 2, where the Districts got a big win against St Mary's. What'll be interesting today, Ricky, is that Saints have a couple of big outs.
Yeah, Rabs Wilson and Sean Edwards, both been on AFL lists, and both of them out today. But in saying that, I wouldn't say it's the strongest district side that we've seen in the last 2 years or this year. So I think it's definitely winnable for Saints to win this game, because, as I said, I don't think it's the strongest district side we've seen all year.
Rick, Josiah Farah comes back in the side. I don't think he's played all year.
No, big in, very good player, big-bodied as well. So big in, the boy, I think he lives in Catherine. So
yeah, and also we're just talking early before the broadcast started about Charlie McAdam. Probably his breakout season last year, Rick. He's really come along, hasn't he?
Yeah, no, he's instrumental. That's what you need. You need organic growth, they say, growth from inside your football club, and that's what they got.
Well, it's going to be a cracker today, even though I was worried when I saw the St Mary's side a bit, but it looks pretty even on paper now, and it's going to be a good game. Matty, we'll just talk about the weather just briefly, because we do talk about the weather a lot being in Darwin, because it's been quite humid this week, hasn't it?
We certainly are in that transitional phase from the build-up to the wet season at the moment. A couple of afternoon storms have rolled through a short time ago. Just having a quick look at the radar at the moment, though not a lot around TIO Stadium, but of course with a couple of hours of football ahead in middle of late November, you certainly could count on some showers perhaps a bit later this afternoon.
Yeah, it absolutely steamed down yesterday as the umpire holds the ball aloft, and we're about to get underway here at TIO Stadium. It's going to be an absolute cracker. Sit back and relax as we get into this one. Ryan Smith goes early, completely misses it. Just a bit of a fresh air. Here's Clinton Gallio over the ball. St Mary's there in numbers though is Tyler Saunders. Stover runs it for now. They could get this one out, St Mary's, and the umpires paid a free kick for holding the ball. So plenty of intent early, Rick.
Yeah, Chris Parris, so just got to be a bit cleaner there. Cam Vagona in for his first game for the year for St Mary's. He's been playing very well in the Div 1. St Mary's Div 1 doing very well this year.
Here's Sam Smith, overlooked in the draft yesterday. Well, that one's being cut off. Still in play.
Saints could make something out of this here.
That has been over the line. We'll have a ball in.
Pretty lucky districts there. Bo Swartz turned the footy over for a top side. They're just got to be a little bit better than that, but a very good opportunity here for St Mary's with a forward 50 early in the game, and their forward 50.
So ball thrown back in. And then there by Districts, just in the Rioli direction. On all fours, gets a handball out. Big tackle by Sam Smith there on McMurray. Umpire lets that one roll, and we're out on centre wing. So Crocs with the numbers. This pops that one long down the line. Here's Staunton. Hits up McAdam. We spoke of him earlier. In great touch at the moment. Just a little pitch-wet style over and a big bump from Tom Davies. And that's over the line for another boundary throw-in.
Dean Staunton getting a few touches early. Didn't play many games last year. I think he's coming back from an injury. I reckon he might have only played the final series. He got a bit of fitness in the Div 1. But yeah, playing footy early. He's a good player, a Thunder Premiership player in 2001. So it's good to see him playing footy early in the season.
So the umpire just calling that one back. Good to see Brodie Rayner. He's out there umpiring today with his old mate Mark Noonan as well. So two legends of NTFL umpiring there, Rick.
Yeah, probably the two best umpires over the last decade, those two. So, and Mark, it's good not doing the top job anymore and still putting back into the game. That just shows the quality of a person that he is.
Shane Thorne gets a quick hands out of the pack. Tyler Saunders with a big crunching tackle. The umpire right there on it, and will ball it up. Just a bit of push and shove, Matty.
Yeah, look, a little bit of rivalry nice and early there. Don't want it to heat over and into anything too serious.
Punching tackle again. Tyler Saunders has had about 3 tackles already. He's little workhorse. Going hard at it, the little man. So just weighing up his options.
To get the bailout kick down the line here.
So there it is. So nice hands over the top. Here's Bowden with the kick inside 50, bit scrappy. Farah overruns it. Tyler Saunders there again, gets a quick handballs out to Ben Rioli. Ben Rioli quick down the line. And an uncontested mark there to Delahunty. Delahunty in the Smith direction. Paredes cops a high tackle, advantage paid. Could have given the handball out to Smith and said, "You're too big, buddy." They're away again. Quinn over the top of it. Quick snap down there from Dan. So ball on the deck. Swartzky with a quick handball out McAdam. And there's that bailout kick down the line again. Paredes red at best. Against Sam Smith. Plays on quickly. Shot on goal is to the right, and we get the opening score. It's 1 behind to St Mary's.
Very keen, Nathaniel, to get the ball on quick. This is the second time he's got the footy from a marking contest and wanted to play on with a quick play. Just got to make sure that Saints have got players up the field or someone deep that they can kick the ball to.
Rick, do you know much about Sonny Dan?
Sonny Dan is from Broome, highly recommended to the club from an ex-premiership Ruckman teammate of mine, Freddie Murphy. And he's from Broome. He played for Southern Districts a couple of years ago. So, first game for Saints. He's a fly-in, living in Broome. I think he's had stints in the Waffle as well.
He's touched it a couple of times already early. Looks quite impressive. He's around on the outer wing. Ball's thrown back in. Delahunty to do the ruck work there for the Saints. Gets a nice tap down. Ball inside 50, cut off by Sam Smith. Drops a mark. Smith there for the Saints. Gets a nice handball out. Here's Shannon Rioli. Another handball outside. Kick on the ways. Chopped off there by Bo Swartz. Answers around a bit, Sonny Dan. Gets a long kick. It might stay in, has it? Yeah, he's kept it in.
Well, there you go.
Clinton Gallio with a nice handball. Back to Staunton. Nice hit up lead.
St Mary's just stopped there. They've got to listen to the umpire's whistle.
So the kick in the middle of the ground could be 50.
Very lucky Benjamin, I think, there.
So here's Dylan McLaughlin. Kick inside 50 now. Delahunty flies. Good mark from the big man. Read that well in the air, Rick.
He worked well with Ryan Smith last week. I thought Ryan Smith's working the forward line. He's just creating pathways for his little guys. You know, giving a contest a big body. This guy's got a bit of the footy already, this guy. Paredes.
Yeah, they've got to put a bit of work into him. He's off the leash a bit. It looks like McAdam's running with him at the moment. Ball pops out over the back. Here's Shannon Rioli running onto it. The little quick man does well, just keeps it in front. Looks for the free kick. Umpire's not falling for that one. So they get the kick out the Crocs.
That's twice now that Districts have mopped that up in the back there.
They've worked this well. Here's Josiah Farah back in the side and 50 metres.
I agree with that. I reckon Districts, the ball's going into the forward 50 quite a lot. If I was to have a hit on Districts, if there's a weakness in their side, and I'm not saying there isn't too many, I'd say it's their back 6, and I reckon they did extremely. You know, so far they've been under a lot of fire and they've done very, very well.
Josiah Farah goes sideways to Brandon Rusker. Jack Long stands a mark for St Mary's. So they've moved it inside now. Here's Bowden. Oh, Shane Thorne juggles that one, holds on to it. Has Farah on the lead, chopped off
there.
So Farah there with Gallio. Gallio receives out the back. Handball's back to Shane Thorne. He's been busy early as well. Kick to a dangerous spot. And the big man in Dallahunty punches that through for a behind.
With their first for effort to go forward into their forward 50. So good Shane Thorne looking for Willie Farrer there.
Ben Rioli just chops it over. Braxton Armat. So they just slowed it down here for the moment. So Armat goes back to Rioli. To the tune of Benjamin. Here's Jack Long.
He's had a bit of a fumble here.
Just stuffing around with it here a bit. McMurray, that one's gone over the line, and it's actually gone out on the full.
Wasn't really under a lot of pressure when that happened. Just it was a bit of a fumble, wasn't it?
Well, it was off the Crocs player in Farrer, actually.
See Saints here, they'll always use Jack Long or Ben Rioli coming out of defence. If they're free, they'll give them the football.
So drop mark over on the outer wing there from Stapleton. Gets handballs out. So a long kick. And they might be out here.
Young Durkay.
Young Gavin Durkay. I think he's from Elko Island, is he?
He's his first game for the year as well.
Yeah.
Gavin.
So Durkay inside 50's the kick. The dangerous Braden Rioli lurking, but Crocs there in numbers. And they've worked it well here through Staunton.
Up again.
Again, well done to their back six.
Dylan McLaughlin out by himself. Has a bit of time. Oh, Tom Davis nearly took his head off, ducked under it. So the kick inside now from Valance, just a sort of nothing kick really. Jack Long. Oh,
He landed on top of it there.
Jack Long, have a look at this man go. I haven't seen him run that far for a while. With the kick inside 50. Just into space, it might beat everyone, and that does. It goes over the line, and we'll have a boundary throw-in, Rick.
Another forward 50 entry for Saints, so they're getting plenty of the footy going forward. They've just got to capitalise on it. Got Ryan Smith up there, so maybe go a little bit more in the air, let him get his jukes on it, and take a big grab.
So umpire throws the ball in. Sam Smith just ragdolls big Ryan Smith out of it. And that one's looks like it's going over the line. No, it's just kept in there from Isaac Wyatt. They probably should have ran it over. Saints look to reload. Tyler Saunders and Farrer go at it. Farrer wins that battle. Sprints off, streaming down the middle of TIO. The kick out the back. Clinton Gallio could run onto it. Just taps it back to himself. Big contest there from Tommy Davies. And the Saints, though, with numbers. Tyler Saunders runs around Gallio. It's a nice kick out.
Farrer just had to go deep to his brother there. Get the ball in deep.
So Paredes just kicks to himself. Wraps up Sam Smith. Does a 360. Gets a handball away. And Crocs have numbers here. And it's beaten them all and goes over the line for a throw-in.
Well, yeah, I was saying that Farrer, he's running through the middle of the ground, and you've got Willie, his brother, which you usually look after your brother. He could have gone to him in a one-on-one situation. Braxton Armat got the big job on Willie Farrer today. Get the ball in deep to him in a one-on-one, put the defenders under pressure.
Maybe he's a bit mindful of that. Rick doesn't want to be seen to favouring the brother.
I got a feeling Shannon would have preferred the kick to have gone long.
He's Musgrove. Shane Thorne does well at ground level. It's a handball out to Abbott. Abbott gets wrapped up in a big tackle. Here's Sam Smith again with those hands.
They're going to have to do something about this guy, Smith. He's cutting off everything that goes near him.
So here's Pemberton charging through the middle. The kick in the Farrer direction, drops a mark. Here's his brother Josiah. Runs onto it. St. Mary's there though in numbers again. Ben Rioli just bangs it out of there quickly. Out into space, and James Quinn can run onto it.
But first grab the footy here.
So does well.
Oh, through the legs.
Mark there from Luke Stapleton. Is Sonny. Just overcooked it. Bo Swartz.
I reckon Saints are good to just get someone to start full forward. Then I think Stapleton looked up, no one to kick to. I think they needed someone to stay at home, and when they need to go deep, they need someone to kick to. At the moment, forwards are playing up. and just got no one to kick to home. So they probably just need someone to stay at home forward.
Geez, it'd be good if we got a goal, Rick, soon, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. Game of defenders.
They're doing everything right. The defenders. It's a defenders' day today. The Crocs win that one out of the stoppage, and they're away again. With Mummery with the kick inside to Farah. Just drops a mark at the last minute. So they're doing everything right. It's just when they go inside 50.
Both teams, actually.
Umpire circling, and that one is holding the ball.
I like that decision. Make them get the ball out to space. We're not here to watch stoppages. I like it when umpires umpire that way.
So Wyatt with the kick to Josiah Farah. Just a scrappy kick again. Oh, big hit there. Here's Gallio. Snap on the way. Touched off the boot. Jack Long there. And the relieving kick will come out wide to Fagona Ross. Does well. Gets a handball over the top to Quinn.
Did well then, Saints. 3v2. I reckon they did. The two young boys did very, very well.
Jordan Cullen for the Saints. Plays on. Throws on the left. Here's Sam Smith again.
Someone get on this bloke. We've nearly got to go. Someone's just got to stay with him.
Yeah.
The way you're talking about it, Rick, I think you're about to get on the field and stick with him.
I think so.
Much to your disgust.
He shouldn't be playing out here. He should have got picked up in the draft yesterday, in my
should
opinion.
have. So ball on the deck in the middle. Bit of a scrap on. Oh, Crocs do well. Although Tyler Saunders chops that one off. Tom Davies for the Saints charging away.
Big Gillhouse.
Gillhouse, he's a massive unit, isn't he? Big tackle.
That's a terrific
on
tackle.
Wyatt.
Yeah.
And they've pinged him for holding the ball.
Young Mitchie Musgrove, I think he's 16 or 17 years of age. He's playing second year of senior footy. He had a couple of games last year. And still only a kid, but he has an absolute crack. Very good. And if he's got a strength, his strength is his tackling, as you could see just there.
So Mitch Musgrove plays on.
Sneaky around the ruckman.
A nice kick. Just kicked it in the Sam Smith direction. And the Crocs run it out of their back line again. Charles McAdam. Just having a look around. It's a dangerous looking kick into the middle. Might pay off. Thorne gets a handball over to Gallio, and they're away here.
When that kick works, you usually score from it.
So they've gone from one side of the oval to the other. Although it's just been chopped off, ball off the deck. McMurray. So they've done well here. Delahunty swings around on the right to a dangerous position. But again, just falling short right at the very last minute there, Rick.
At least Saints had someone at home that time. So now they've got a stoppage in their forward 50. Good chance to score a goal. Dean Staunton's had better days out there on the wing. I thought they were away their districts. But talk about fumbling. You just can't fumble the football. So, but they had someone to kick to. You see here in the replay, that's what they need. Someone at home. Luke Stapleton playing his first game for the club for probably 5 years. They need someone staying at home. It's good.
So, big contest out the front of goal. Crocs with the numbers again. Sam Smith with the kick. Tyler Saunders there. Overruns it. Shane Thorne with a clever handball over the top. Sam Smith receives back. Gets a handball out wide. Big tackle there on Mummery. Umpire lets it go. Just a settling kick. Although Wheeler plays on quickly. They're away here again. Abbott.
Didn't roll up the Saints forwards there.
It's another scrappy kick to Farah. He will be filthy. How many of those kicks have been on the half volley?
I agree. They're not looking after him very well.
Fagona Ross taking the mark here at half back for Saints. Comes long down the line. Out of bounds on the full. So Sean Martin. Yeah, high free kick there.
We've got a player in the middle. District Saints have got a man up on what Paredes has got him now.
And that one's...
And the same again, going the other way.
It's just lazy football, kicking off the back step of one step. They've got to be better at this level. Got to be a lot better than that.
Gentlemen, 15 minutes in, we're still goalless.
But, yes. I'm having a good time, Matty. Having a good time. So he's Musgrove. Finds the captain in Shannon Rioli. Shanrioli's looking inside. Not a lot going on. Finds something now. So they're just holding on to it for the moment. So McMurtry plays on. Scrappy kick.
You can't turn the footy over there.
That's a very dangerous spot to turn that one over. And Ogden is away. The kick to Farah. That's a better kick.
There we go.
And good
Some
mark.
hands on it.
Very good mark.
I reckon Will get up and say, about time, you blokes. They haven't gone in too cleanly or with too much method.
Look for both teams. The forward entries is and no result for a goal yet. But both teams have had so many forward entries.
So Will Farah will kick from about 45. Just off a few steps. Kick underway. Oh, come on, Farah. That's another point.
I think you nailed it there off 2 steps. Just go back, take 4 or 5 steps, get in a bit of a rhythm.
Yeah.
And you called it perfectly. 2 steps,
Yeah.
blasted away, and that's the result.
So 2 behinds to 1.
What a lazy footy if you sum up this game.
So Smith ragdolls a few. Crocs win it though at ground level.
Ruck style tap out there.
So he's wide off a step, but that's a good kick.
Another chance for Districts now.
So that's a bit better. Bradley Valance taking the mark. Just on a slight angle, will probably kick from about 35 to 40 out.
Didn't play last year with a medial ligament injury. So started the season pretty well. So see how he goes with this kick.
Bradley Valance, kick on the way is across the face and through for a behind. So 3 points to 1 point. Southern District's way. We've gone 18 minutes in the first quarter.
Not a fan of on-ballers taking the fullback kick out here with Shannon. I just reckon he's got to be up near the midfield. You've got Jack Long, Ben Rioli, who are superb kickers of the footy. Let them kick at Shannon, and you get in the middle of the ground.
James Quinn receives and goes to Braxton Armat, who kicks long down the line. And it goes over, and we'll have a boundary throw-in on the outer wing.
With 5 minutes to go in the quarter, it'd be interesting. It's 20-minute quarters. Doesn't mean a goal scored, so it might be under 21 minutes. So.
When's the last time you saw that with Saints, Ricky?
Yeah, it's been a while. I'd say Saints are more of a defensive side than an attacking side, but these are 2 powerhouses of the last 5 years. You'd think they would have kicked a goal in the first quarter of a game.
Yeah.
So Chris Parris with the clearing kick, but it's straight down the throat of Sean Martin, who in turn stinks it up and kicks it out of bounds on the full
That's
rig.
a late lazy kick.
So St Mary's reload.
Saints' turn now.
So the ball goes long inside 50. No one home. Here's Big Saw Smith doing well. Doing a fair bit of running the big man. And we'll have a boundary throw in at half forward for the Saints.
Don't know if Saints just maybe try something, maybe a Paredes forward 1 out or a Shannon Rioli forward 1 out.
And there we go. It is quarter time.
20 minutes and 17 seconds.
At TIO
Without a
Stadium
goal.
at St Mary's, 1 behind the Southern Districts, 3 behinds. A strange old first quarter. We'll be back with the second one right after this.
She's flying down to Alice today. Don't forget to put away the garden furniture.
Yep, got it.
And just remember the TIO weather alerts. Garden furniture!
Love you too.
She's off, but he's still got TIO. They cover you for territory weather, cyclone, storm surge, flood, hail, and they're local, so they can respond fast.
TIO? Storm's staying, kids.
So we can feel, really feel, together real, together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me down.
Another life saved with the Chemist Warehouse app. Take control of your health and wellness. Download now.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona.
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice, still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
Welcome back to 7-2's coverage of the TIO NTFL season, where it's a strange old quarters unfolded between St Mary's and the Crocs. Rick, what was your take on that?
Yeah, game of defence. Both defence did really well. Southern Districts held out St Mary's forward line and vice versa. I don't reckon Districts went deep enough or got the ball to Willie Farrer enough. So just not a lot of method the way they went into it. But yeah, certainly don't see that much. 3 points to 1 point. Two of the better sides.
Matty, just going around the grounds, what's happening in the rest of the NTFL action?
Yeah, of course, in some of the round's other games, we Nightcliff had a win the old Friday night footy, 14-10-94 up against the Palmy Magpies, 10-15-75. And then over on the Tiwi Islands, the Bombers got up. It's a few in a row for them now against Wanderers, 11-15-81, 9-8-62. Ricky, looking at that game, you called it earlier in the season. You said the Bombers just go up and up further into the season, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, I've said it a few times. They don't train a real lot together, so I think they get their fitness out of playing games of footy. But I just think they're a good. The second half of last year, they were probably the form team of the comp going into the final. So I thought that would happen. They're going to scare a few sides between now and finals time.
Coming back just to this game, lads. Rick, what needs to happen to sort of break this one open and get on the scoreboard?
Goals, I believe. I'm no expert. I'm no coach like Ricky is.
Hello, my name's Captain Obvious. Sorry.
I reckon you'll find. I reckon Saints will restructure their forward line, and I reckon Shannon will be telling them to get the ball quicker and deeper into Will Farrer. Is what I reckon may happen this quarter.
We saw Braden Rusker every time Saints had a forward entry just chopped off by Rusker there, Ricky.
Yeah, and Smith was really good down back as well. So, a couple of guys that they've got to watch down back. Bowden was another one that played pretty well down back for districts.
Of course, Sam Smith and Michael Mummery, who are playing for the Crocs, both missed out on the draft yesterday. We'll talk about that a little later on. I'll ask you your thoughts on that, Rick, as we're about to get underway. Umpire Mark Noonan there in the middle of the ground, just waiting to get it up. Yep. Holds the ball up in the air, waits for that sign. There it is. Noons likes what he sees, throws the ball up. Smith wins a tap, but straight down to his opponent. Big crunching tackle. Tyler Saunders is an absolute tackling machine, Rick.
That's his 4th or 5th tackle for the game. It's outstanding.
So Saunders looking around for options. Tries to dance around. It's a nice little kick into Delahunty. So Delahunty gets on the run, no one on the mark, heads for home to the top of the square. Big fly at the back from Sonny Dan, but nothing's doing. So Saints there with numbers again. Nice little kick. The umpire says play on.
A bit unlucky Saints there, I thought. Well done by Ryan McMurray.
So the big kick to get him out of trouble. Looks like it's coming back. No, well done there by who was that, Bradley Valance, just to get that one over the line for a stoppage on the centre wing, Rick.
Yeah, we saw Ryan McMurray pick the ball up on his left foot. He hit Shannon Rioli lace out, but the umpire said it didn't go the required distance, which I probably thought it did. But a bit unlucky Saints.
So ball's thrown back in. Delahunty gets a tap down the throat of Paris, swings around on the left. Shane Thorne there for Crocs, chops it off. It's a kick down the line. Here is Mummery. There's a cross ground with a beautiful looking kick to Valance. Valance in turn, heads inside 50. The been hands in the back, umpire right there on it though, says play on. Oh, big head crash there from Ahmad.
They both got straight up.
He's straight up, the young man. It's a tough young unit. This one's chopped off on centre wing. Farah drops a mark. Might have gone over. No, umpire right there on it. Kick inside 50. Gallio, they're just stuffing around with it, the Crocs. Ben Rioli. Handball's over the top to no one, and that one goes over the line. And we'll have a boundary throw in.
I thought there was some good defensive work by Jordan Cullen there for Saints.
Yeah, something I will point out is Willie Farah kicked to his brother Joshua, but the other way around it didn't work. If I was Willie, I'd be pointing that out in that situation. He hit him with a nice kick, Willie.
Don't let it rip. So ball thrown back in. Just a bit scrappy here for the moment. Bit of holding on going on. The umpire right there on it, pays it. Paris goes across ground to Ben Rioli. Dangerous kick. Here's Farah. No, Shane Thorne. And gets the opener. 2 minutes into the second quarter, lads. That's what we're talking about.
We got there.
Just can't turn the footy over, can you, Chris Paris? They always look, as I said before, always look for Ben Rioli or Jack Long, two extremely good footballers to bring it out of St Mary's back line. Unfortunately, turned the footy over. So Chris Paris is a young player, only in his second year, so you'll learn from that. Benny's usually a little bit cleaner below his knees as well, but it's goal scored from a turnover.
Don't have to give Shane Thorne much of a sniff, do you?
No. He did well, Shane Thorne. He come from the scoreboard then, so it was a bit of good gut running.
So back in the middle we are. Smith again with the tap. It's straight down the throat. Crocs. So Paredes off a step, kick inside 50. Sam Smith there again chopping it off. Here's the excitement machine, Braden Rioli. Just gets worked out of it though, the little man. And Crocs again. Oh, big crunching tackle there on Ogden. Umpire says play on though. Ball comes out, Smith off a step, just gets it out of there quickly. To Ryan Smith, drops the mark. Keeps it in though. Throws on the right, hits up Saunders, just over his head. Paris, just a missed tackle there. Gallio gets run down. They've turned it over. Inside 50 are St Mary's, but again, it's chopped off down there by Pemberton, and they're away. So Bowden with the kick out wide to Mummery.
Dean Staunton up the field.
So he goes backwards.
Another lazy kick off 1 foot.
Chopped off down there from McMurtry. They've just settled it down here for the moment. Is Delahunty. It's a nice kick to Stapleton. Stapleton goes inboard. Risky kick. Paredes keeps his feet, stays in the contest, does well, gets a handball out to Shan Rioli. Here's Quinn with the long kick to the top of the square. Sam Smith there again. Crocs with the numbers. They've done well. Here's Brandon Rusker to Ogden. And they've run it out. So the Crocs here with all the numbers. Koopman throws it on the right. That's a better looking kick to Farah right on the chest. And Jack Long just gives him one to go on with.
A lot better entry to Willie.
Oh, I don't like this. Why don't you just go back and kick it, Rick? Here he is again. Farah throws it on the right.
Is that what you're talking about?
Ah, it's hit the post.
Oh, that's so much curve in it.
It did. Bit too much curve there, Matty. I don't know what he was thinking.
Well done by Jack Long to cut that ball off.
That was, yeah, very good.
They're lucky. Now St Mary's, that should have been a goal.
But just like this entry, just a deeper entry to Will Farah, straightened up. He led straight up the field. It was good.
That was the kick, inside 50. If we have a look here at the replay.
Yeah.
Cracker. Ben Rioli goes short to Jack Long. Goes sideways. Tommy Davies nearly spills it. Does well though. It's not much on down the line. Just goes short. We'll drop mark there from Paredes. Looking for the high free kick. Does a 360. Tommy Davies charges out of there. They've done all right. The kick. Shan Rioli, Manchester United style, just tries to kick it to himself. And Saints do all right. Stapleton goes down the line. Great mark in the air.
Bowden.
So Bowden hits up Gallio. He's had another good game. Signed to Thunder through the week. Shane Thorne weighing up his options. Comes across ground to Rusker. Charges towards 50. Dances around one. Puts a long kick in the Farah direction. Flies from the back. Keeps his feet. Dances around one. Gets ragdolled by Jack Long. And he's given away a free kick for too high. So we'll go back and have a set shot on the tight angle from about 25 out, Rick.
He's having a bit of a look out the side, Willie, so I think he's interested in passing. Not a good sign, I reckon, when they're looking around a bit. There's not a real lot of confidence in the kick. We'll see how he goes.
It's gone the banana. It's gone across the face and out of bounds on the full.
Of course, we mentioned Gallio, Ricky, earlier this week, the first to be signed to Thunder for 2019.
Yeah, good pickup. I think Melville as well from Nightcliff, I think, signed. Trent Melville was their second pickup, so good to see him start to sign players based up here early, so that's good.
So Ben Rioli receives from Paredes. Rioli goes back to Paredes. Just looking to hold on to it for here for the moment, Rick.
Oh, wowee.
Jack Long. Jeez, that was a clever kick off the side of the boot. Did he mean it, Rick?
Yeah, he's a very smart player.
And they've cut it off again.
Cut it off that time, though.
Brandon Rusker as well. Comes sideways. So here they go, the Saints, looking to reload. And that one's out of bounds on the full from Jordan Cullen. And it'll give Saints another crack.
Still at the 9-minute mark and only one goal scored. So.
I thought when that first goal scored before, I thought it was just going to open up then.
Yeah,
nah, not on my watch.
We've got a good switch.
Can you take your watch off then, please, mate?
Sam Smith goes sideways to Michael Bowden. Bit of stand-up comedy there from Matty Hepworth. I'm liking it. I'm rating it a lot as we're charging inside 50. Have a look at that. Lowers the eyes and hits up Staunton.
That was a very smart kick. Didn't blaze away. Picked his option. I'm not sure if Dean is capable of kicking this far.
Commentator's curse. He'll probably go back and dob it now. No, lowers the eyes. No, chopped off. Shane Thorne does well. Keeps his feet. Snap on the way. He's to the left. And through for a behind. Oh, there's a free kick actually coming back.
Ben Rioli will receive the free kick.
So 9 minutes gone. Still only the one goal kicked. Matty, you'll have to start doing stand-up comedy soon.
Oh, I'll just prepare my notes. Stand by.
Here's Mitch Musgrove. The kick. It's a nice kick too.
Lovely kick.
Finds Delahunty. So Delahunty just looking down the line. Shane Thorne's just put Ben Rioli down off the ball.
Yeah, I saw that.
And umpire lets the ball go though. Here they go. Shan Rioli. It's a better looking kick.
And with some hands on it as well.
Sonny Dan. Oh no, play on.
No.
And we're away. Sam Smith gets it off half back. Delahunty for Saints. There, Shane Thorne keeps it in front of him, gets a handball away. McAdam back to Farah. Farah to Will Farah in the pocket. Just drops the mark at the last second though. Tommy Davies there for the Saints. It's a nice kick, although drop mark there from Big Delahunty. And we'll have a boundary throw. A bit scrappy here, Rick, at the moment.
Yeah, they looked all right going into the forward line in those districts. And Willie had a big flight. I'd love if he could try and keep his feet, take a big marker, come to ground. If he had kept his feet, he might have been able to get it with a second effort. But I think his boot was come off. He's still on the ground now.
So ball thrown back in. Delahunty wins it down. Ben Rioli sits on Wyatt. And we'll have another stoppage. So 11 minutes gone. It's 10-1. They're not odds either. That's the score. Tyler Saunders spins around in a pirouetting tackle. The clearance there from Taylor. Long down the line. And that one's touched. Over the line, we'll have a boundary throw in.
I suppose if you look at Saints' backline, like you've got Jack Long, Ben Rioli, both I think 5 times premiership, who have been the anchor of their backline. So I'd say Saints' backline is their strength. Tom Davies is an NT Thunder player, so their strength is certainly down back. But, and they're making it very difficult for districts to score.
Rick, would you play with the possibility of throwing like a Tommy Davies forward?
Yeah, Saints tried it last week and it went okay. Well, I don't know. I think he's a defender is what he's probably.
Yeah.
I think maybe a Paredes. It's hard to say because Paredes gets 30 touches in the middle, but a Paredes or a Shannon Rioli maybe. They haven't got the ball forward that often this quarter though either.
So a free kick coming back.
It's hard with Paredes because he's such a good player. Robin Peter to pay Paul when you do that. It works if you're getting the ball. If you're getting the ball down there.
So the kick comes across ground.
Sometimes it's the team that works to the other side the hardest. So we'll see what happens here.
So Mark received there from Innes, goes inboard on Smith. He should have about 15 votes already. That one's over the line. Sam Smith's just been absolutely extraordinary today. It's like he didn't get drafted. He's going to go, watch this, boys. Watch this.
Pretty good. A good sign of someone's character, I think, is the disappointment. I don't know how close he was, whether clubs were speaking to him. I don't know the insides on that. But to come out and play the way that he had just shows a sign. I don't know the person, but shows he's a pretty good human being.
He's a nice kid. A very nice kid. So the mark taken from Richardson on Shannon Rioli. Shannon Rioli's having a great game too. Throws it on the right in the Smith direction. And that one's over the line and we'll have a boundary throw in.
The big Gillhouse and Ryan Smith have had some terrific battles over the years. So just another bit of their story, but two are probably the best two ruckmen over the last 5 years. And Gillhouse obviously played at Nightcliff for probably 5 years, but they've had some great battles and good to see them going at it again today.
Gillhouse wins that one down to Thorne, gets a quick kick out of the pack. Cullen there. So with the scrappy kick, Gillhouse there again. They're away, McAdam. Links up to Mummery. Big tackle from Braden Rioli.
Wow.
And the umpire's pinged him. So a free kick coming back. Braden Riola's just been a bit quiet today, I think, Rick.
Yeah, it happens with kids. I think he'll go back to the 18s soon. They give him a bit of a taste and let him go back. But he's been, hopefully he can lift a little bit, but that sometimes happens with young kids.
So the ball in the middle of the ground. A beautiful tackle there from Farai. Gallio there gets ragdolled to the ground. They sit on him, and the umpire says, "My ball, I'll throw it up."
Ricky, a lot of low ball kicks. Is it laziness? What is it?
Yeah, I'd put a touch of laziness into this game. So that's probably a bit, because it's not bad conditions out there. Yeah. It is hot, like we always say, but a bit of cloud cover.
That's our go-to when a game like this. What's the weather doing? It's a kick inside 50. This is more entertaining stuff, although it's a free kick being given away there from, I think it was Delahunty, for hands in the back.
There was a weatherman in Darwin years ago, Craig Widdowson. He was the runner for Saints, and he was the weatherman up here, and everyone used to tease him. You only ever used to do 2 weathers, and they'd just replay them every time. One in the dry season and one in the wet. People thought he was lying that he used to go to work.
He's no Jane Bunn. Greetings to Jane. She'll be watching, obviously. Jane Bunn, huge fan of mine. Not. So the kick, just Farah keeps his feet. Well, there's a free kick.
Lined up on him.
And that's gone through for a goal.
We'll take the golden set.
That's a strange kind of goal, that one. So Farah gets his first and gets Southern District's second. 16 minutes into the second quarter, it's the Southern District's 2-4-16 to St Mary's. Just the one behind.
It's one of those free kicks. I think we get a replay. Sometimes these ones can go either way, but Omri Turks around gets a deep entry.
It's another one to be unlucky.
He maybe went a touch early, a bit of a 50-50. Willie might have got the goal anyway, maybe, I think.
The great Mark Noonan right there on the spot. So Smith does well out of the ruck, gets his own clearance in the direction of Sonny Dan. Pirouetting tackle, just dropped ball down there from Stapleton. There's a lot of ragdolling going on. And the free kick coming back for holding on a bit too long. So we can have a look at this replay.
I'd be too upset if I was Brent Renoff, because I reckon he had a crack at that. If your player's having a crack at the tackle, he's a bit unlucky, I thought.
So on centre wing now.
Better skills.
Gillhouse
not known for his kicking, so he did well there.
Rusker comes across ground, finds Abbott.
Done well here, Districts.
Some good linking up. Was good linking going on.
Ogden dropping the mark there. He's getting hassled out of it there from Taylor. He's done well, Ogden. Kept his feet.
That was
kept the
very
ball
impressive.
in front. Gets a handball away. Might get it back here. No, the ball pops over the top to Staunton. Inside 50. Better play from the Crocs. On umpire says play on. Shane Thorne gets a handball. Have a look at this. Too easy.
Oh, they'll do it this time.
And Mummery strolls into the open goal and gets the Crocs third.
I was going to say to Lionel Ogden, he made a meal of it here on the wing, but it's ended up working, because usually when that happens, they're able to get numbers behind the footy, which Saints did, but they're still able to score from it. So, number 10, Lionel Ogden, I reckon he was probably the most improved player in the competition last year. Had a bit of a breakout year with McAdam, and one of the reasons that the Districts did go all the way was his improvement. So, Districts able to score a goal. Bit of a raffle there at the end. Mummery puts it over the Pints clubhouse.
Big Willie Farrer and Noons just having a bit of a yarn there about a few decisions. By the looks of it.
I've never seen a player win yet, actually.
No.
I've been watching footy a lot. I think it's been going footy 100 years. I don't think a player's ever won.
No. So here we go, back in the middle. Smith goes early. Gillhouse wins it down. Rioli down there. Here's Farrer charging through. So ball on centre wing. Could have been hands in the back there. Umpire says play on. Farrer gets a handball backwards. Abbott. And the kick.
Oh, wow, that was good.
On Wheeler. So Wheeler back to Valance. Valance with the kick. That's a great kick to Farrer, charging out from the goal square. And will kick from about 35 out on a slight angle.
Well done by Harry Wheeler. He's from Yarrawonga in the extremely strong Amazon Murray, probably not quite as strong as it was. He's looking here at Willie. Just will he take some ownership and kick the goal? You've led the goal kick in the last 3 or 4 years. You're a great shot at goal. Take the ownership and kick the goal.
He is. The way the scoring's going, they could have put him away then. 19 minutes gone in the second quarter. So here's Tyler Saunders looking for Smith. Gilhouse cuts it off. No, Smith gets it back. Gets a handball out to Musgrove.
Did well, and he didn't blaze away.
And a good smother there. And we'll have a boundary throw in.
20 minutes into the second quarter, you're watching 7-2's coverage of the NTFL thanks to TIO, NAFLs, Apia and MacArthur River Mining.
His quarter's already gone longer than the other one. And we're 10 seconds into time on.
I seriously thought that first quarter went for 13 minutes. It felt like.
I often have people from down south talk about this. Now the time would stop at the moment because the umpire would have called time on, but in the territory because of the conditions, the ball goes over the boundary for a boundary throw-in, and we throw it in. I think someone's just worked out that no one's actually jumping the fence to go get the ball. So
someone, there we go.
Gavin Durkay, what a gentleman.
Done it.
Thank you, Gavin. Thank you.
About time someone stood up, Gav.
Was that the players just wanting to have a little rest? And
it was strategic, you reckon, Ricky?
For the final 5 seconds of the quarter, 20 minutes gone.
It's a hard one there. It's in the middle of the ground. What team has to get it?
Yeah. Territory footy at its best. St Mary's haven't scored a goal. Can they get one in the dying minutes or even seconds of his second quarter? So we're away. St Mary's get the kick inside 50 and a mark. Charging out there is Delahunty.
Might have trouble with the distance maybe.
Long way to go.
If it falls short, Saints have got no one down there. Districts have probably got 6-7 players now behind the ball.
See Stapleton going back. Delahunty.
It's pretty confident.
Close the man on the mark. Just a bit of an up and under kick. Big fly down there from Sonny Dan. But the Crocs just go off the ground. Oh, they've lost their feet. Here's Gav Durkay, doesn't go at the ball. Taps it to himself, does well. Quinn, Sonny Dan. Kicks straight down the throat of Sam Smith. And they're away again. Oh no, that's a scrappy
Maybe
kick.
with a chance to mop it up.
Oh, Big Smith. Usually swallows them ones up. Big Ryan Smith. So away again, the Crocs. Musgrove's done well here by himself. Have a look at that. Take it there, young man. Gets a quick kick back towards the 50-metre mark. But again, Sam Smith there for the Crocs. Staunton. And there's a free kick coming back to Smith. To the tune of Sam Smith. And 50 metres. So nothing going St Mary's way at the moment, Rick.
But Smith coming out of the back line in that last one, like he had 3 or 4 mates with him and kicked it to Ryan Smith. These two sides are better than what they're showing at the moment.
So Sam Smith.
That's a better kick.
Chips over the top to Koopman. He charges towards 50. Kick on the way, keeps it low and just skids through for a behind.
Ricky, have you ever seen this on your watch if they go into half-time without a goal?
I'd say I haven't, but I wouldn't bet my house.
Yeah.
I'd say we
have to be scraping the memory bank.
Kicked goals,
Yeah.
So McMurtry drops that one. And it goes over the line. We'll have a boundary throw in. And there it is. It's half-time here at TIO Stadium. We're at St Mary's, just a one behind to Districts 3-6-24. We'll have a quick break and be back with the second half right after this.
She's flying down to Alice today. Don't forget to put away the garden furniture.
Yep, got it.
And just remember the TIO weather alerts. Garden furniture!
Love you too.
She's off, but he's still got TIO. They cover you for territory weather, cyclone, storm surge, flood, hail, and they're local, so they can respond fast.
TIO? Storm staying, kids.
So we can feel forever, yeah, feel together, real, together. No one can stop. No one can stop.
saved with the Chemist Warehouse app. Take control of your health and wellness. Download now.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice, still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
Let's light it up until our hearts catch fire. World of burning light that never shines so bright. We'll find a way to keep the cold night from breaking in over the walls into the wild side. The hunger stack is fire.
Welcome back to 7-2's coverage of the TIO NTFL season. St Mary's and the Crocs doing battle. Second half underway here as Staunton gets a handball and gets wrapped up in the tackle, but clever enough to get the handball away. Farah runs onto it to the tune of Josiah. Throws on the left and out of bounds on the full. Welcome back, gentlemen. Ricky Nolan and Maddie Hepworth.
Well, what a game so far.
Bit different to last week, but
it was. So the 3 goals are all District's way coming in that second quarter, of course. St Mary's still the 1 behind. And Rick, I mean, I know we've already asked this question, and Maddie Hepworth pointed out that I was Captain Obvious, but what do St Mary's need to do to get back into this?
I think they're getting a bit of ball forward, so just got to kick some goals when they go forward. It's probably the key, the obvious one, but just keep getting their hands on the footy. Their backline's doing fairly well.
Smith off a step. Gallio goes without it. So the ball pops out. White gets a handball out to Farah. Looks for Ogden. Sorry, Staunton, that is.
I'm sorry, what a fucking...
This is like thrown out the back.
Popped out of nowhere.
And Paredes gets wrapped up in a nice big tackle.
St Mary's have thrown Ben Rioli forward, so they've certainly restructured things a little bit. Bit of a goal sneak at times. It's works sometimes, it doesn't work other times, but yeah, I reckon it's a good move. Try something, restructure.
Gilhouse out of the middle to himself. Handball pops over the top to Valance. Just a bit scrappy here. Picks it up on the second attempt though. Gets handball out. Saunders chops it off for St Mary's. And the kick to Shanrioli. Gets wrapped up in the tackle. Gets handball out to Paris. Musgrove spinning out of trouble but gets wrapped up. Paredes does very well in fact. Gets the hands out to Musgrove. And Paredes gets it back in the Rioli direction. Does well, Rioli. Makes a contest. Durkay, clever, gets a handball back to Rioli. Just taps it to his own advantage. But again, Smith chops it off there for the Crocs. It's a handball over the top. Big crunching tackle. Durkay with a nice tackle there on Gilhouse. And Saunders inside 50. Oh, drop mark there from, I think it was Delahunty. Puts it down. It was a real good opportunity there for, well, that could have been 50, but a good opportunity gone begging there for St Mary's, Rick.
Could be a 6-point game, but Sam Smith left Delahunty and he was beaten for the ball, but Delahunty he had to make him pay there.
So Staunton, kick inside 50 is a good one. Finds Mummery. Mummery plays on. Handballs to himself. Jack Long, clever. Holds him up. Ogden wrapped up in the tackle. And we'll have a ball up.
Done very well, Jack Long then. I reckon when Delahunty made a meal of that and they turned the ball over, they had numbers. Jack he worked the man talk about 1% as he worked the mark very well. Touched the ball and then held it up for a stoppage, so he did well.
Gilhouse with the clever tap to...
Oh, wow.
So the snap to the top of the square, Phil Farah, too strong, takes a mark directly in front.
Braxton Ahmad had to halve that contest. Just got to get stronger through the body and through the core, bring that footy to ground.
So Will Farah, 1, 2, 3 steps, and he's missed it. Call it again, I've called that twice. 3 steps, and he's pulled it to the left. So another point, 3-7-25. St Mary's just the 1 behind.
He was last season's, for the Crocs, the leading goal kicker of the year last year as well.
2 seasons ago, he kicked 100. There's only been 4 people in 100 years of football who've ever kicked 100 goals, so he knows how to kick a goal.
Yeah.
He's just gone away from his kicking technique.
And that one's over the line.
Is he using a different technique, Ricky?
Completely did. I actually worked a fair bit with him at Thunder when he was there in 2011, I think it was. And he had a really good down. It's when he kicked 100 goals. I go to that. You don't kick 100 goals if you haven't got an excellent kicking technique. He's got to grab some videos and go back to that kicking technique.
So ball thrown back in. Gilhouse with the tap. Paredes gets wrapped up in the tackle. Try to feeding it out.
Stoppage hot spot there.
I think, as I said, 4 people have ever kicked 100, I think. The great Dennis Dunn. Alan Jakovic, the ex-Melbourne champion. I think Matt Chilcott kicked 100. And him. There might be one other from Southern District's player kicked 100. So 5, I think, have ever kicked 100.
Miss kick. Farah wraps it up, throws it on the right over the shoulder. It's a... Hit the post.
You wanted it to be, though, didn't you? You wanted it.
We're just trying to find a bit.
Ash Wedding was the other player that kicked 100. Alan Djakovic played before he went to Melbourne in the VFL.
Can confirm for viewers at home, Ricky did not use any kind of technology to find that. That was out the memory bank.
Not going to do that hey Ricky joke again. That was one of the all-time great jokes, and Siri was here to back it up for us, but we won't go down that path again. We might save that for the finals. It's more of a finals footy joke, that one.
Might bore you a little bit more. I think Alan Djakovic kicked 100 goals in the bottom side. I think Southern Districts was when they first joined the comp.
Guildford down, clever tap. Here's Farrer again. Look at that footwork. Gets a handball out. McAdams just sitting at the back waiting off the pack. Gets it, but runs it over the line. And it will have another boundary throw in. Some real fancy sort of river dancing work from Farrer there.
Nightclub moves, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Seen that in monsoons a few times. So the ball thrown back in. Smith just doing some holding on to Guildford. Umpire says, oh no, he's been pinged.
Wow. Oh, crunch. He won't be happy with that.
Also, it's just getting a bit rough here for the moment. There's a free kick's coming back to Smith. Sorry, Smith gave away the free kick, I think.
Umpires circling now. A couple of umpires now involved.
Well, we've got a break. Damien Coupedeau is another one that kicked 100. Ex-Essendon and Brisbane Lions player as well, so it might be 6 that have done it.
Unbelievable scenes. I think the report book's just come out there. Anyway.
It was a big crunching tackle seems as a catalyst to that, and then it just escalated quite quickly.
Shane Thorne kicks it.
Only when the umpire picks out a free kick and someone's about to kick a goal, the fight usually ends pretty quick, doesn't it?
So, yeah, Shane Thorne just clearly being held onto there. Tommy Davies and White going at it. Yes, they went on for quite a while.
No one set up here in the middle either. I think there's still a little bit of chatter going on. Districts have only got 3 in the middle of this centre bounce. They should not lose this St Mary's.
So here they go, Paredes out of the middle.
Especially when you've got a quality player like this.
Throws it on the right. Clever kick. Here's Ben Rioli lurking at the back. Could have been a high free kick, and he's won it. Yes, he has. So Ben Rioli receives a free kick.
Love to see him kick this because he's got a really good celebration. Ben, he doesn't mind celebrating a goal.
Is he a left footer, Ricky?
No, he's not.
No, this stinks. This has got behind written all over it. Away we're going. So here he goes, Benny Rioli.
He's milked the mark here. Look how far he's milked that around. He's kicked it as well.
Bonana style, and
watch the celebration.
St Mary's open up the account. 8 minutes into the third quarter. Benny Rioli going on with it. Loving the high fives, Matty.
Yeah, there are high fives all around, and Nick, you can call that a player will not make a goal any day of the week, mate.
If they win, I'll tell you what, if St Mary's win, I'll do a few more of them.
You be down on the boundary line.
I'll accept a gift voucher at the restaurant at St Mary's over the back there. That's what I'll do.
Ben has absolutely milked that. That free kick was on the boundary line there. He's brought himself in 5 metres and kicked a...
He ended up 10 metres in front doing a banana.
He didn't let me down with his afterwards either, Ben.
Oh, we've got a game. We're back.
Yeah, he's still running around the square, Ben.
25 points in it. Paris off a step, misses it. Gallio with a nice handball through there. So they're inside 50 now. Farrer running onto it. McAdam there for the Crocs. Just a bit thumbly. Here's Thorne. Gets a tap out to Staunton. Snaps on the boundary. Good, dangerous kick. Ball in dispute. Snap over the shoulder. Is a good one. Koopman. So they get the quick reply, Rick.
It hurts when they reply that quickly, I reckon. Ben's got him up and about. He's kicked a good goal from the boundary line, and he's got brought a bit of energy. And there's nothing worse than kills energy, or one way to kill energy is kicking a goal. But I reckon
Shane Thorne
Shane Thorne is moving the best he's moved for 5 years.
He is, isn't he? He's in great form.
Moving very well. He's had massive knee problems. He got drafted a few years ago and had knee problems. Quite a while ago.
Where did he went to Western Bulldogs, didn't he?
And it's the best I've seen him move for a while.
He's looking good. He's in great form. Good on him. Back in the Premier League. So the tap, here's McLaughlin out of the middle for the Crocs. Just comes off the side of the boot. McAdam over there for the Crocs in space. Just weighs up his options, lowers the eyes, and here he is again. Thorne, he's having a great game. So he's on a tough angle. Will kick from about 45 out.
He had a very good shot at goal. Can kick him from anywhere. Good work with Charlie McAdam, the son of the great St Kilda and Brisbane Lions player, Gilbert McAdam.
So Thorne on the approach. Tough but gettable. And it's just to the right and through for a behind. So Southern District's out to a 32-point lead now.
The excitement has definitely stepped up a notch, though, is that a lot of pressure, a lot more tackles, and certainly a much more exciting style of football to watch.
Bit of biff.
That too.
It's been on. So what's happened here? They've stepped on the mark. Stepped on the line, sorry. So it's coming back.
Coach killer. If someone's blatantly cheating, and I just reckon you can have a little bit of leeway.
So ball thrown back up. Farrow with a clever tap down to a dangerous spot. Tommy Davies just jumps on it. Lucky not to give away the free kick. And he gets a free kick, actually.
Willie Farrow's vertical jump is just amazing, isn't it?
It's one of the best. It's a lazy, sloppy kick there. It might work out all right. His arm at. Does well. It's a kick out, although it's out of bounds on the full by the looks of it. Just out of Sonny Dan's reach. So the Crocs will reload here. 11 minutes gone, out to a 32-point lead. Here's Staunton. Just chips it over to Thorne. Just holding on to it a bit here. Goes inside 50 with a nice kick. Dropped mark down there from Jess Koopman.
Dean Staunton missed the majority of last year. Only played, I think, the final series. Played very well in the grand final, but big plus to have him back. I reckon Shannon Rusk will be licking his lips to have Dean back this early in the season.
Ball pops out the back. Here's Gallio charging through. Gets a kick away. That's a clever kick. Well, they dropped mark there from Thorne. He's Ben Rioli at half back. He's worked up the ground. Does a banana there too. Clever kick. Paredes drops it. Just sockers it to himself. Smith gets wrapped up. And it's over the line and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Rare mistake by Nathaniel. But yeah, Saints cleared that well.
Looks like Shan Rioli's running back to the forward line too. The ball gets thrown back in. McLaughlin taps it to himself. Harris Air wraps him up and that one's over the line and we'll have another boundary throw in on the outer wing.
Yeah, Ben and Shannon are going forward. Just got to try and get as many repeat entries as they can, Saints.
So ball thrown back in. Delahunty wins the tap down.
Yeah, right.
Is Braden Rioli, and that one's over the line again. Just a bit of repeat stoppage work here, Rick.
It is.
We saw one of the greatest comebacks of the year last week with the Tiwi Bombers with this same margin as well. It was certainly a bit earlier in the game the Bombers started to make a comeback, but if St Mary's could get a few on the board, perhaps we could see something similar today.
Yes. Fingers crossed. As here's the Crocs at centre half forward. A bit sloppy there, Valance. Good enough to get the handball backwards. They're inside 50 now. Musgrove just gets worked out of it nicely. And Musgrove wins it back, dances around one, gets the kick away. Down the line. Good work there from Stapleton. He's going to get it back. Gets a handball back to Musgrove. They've worked this well. Sloppy kick, Ben Rioli. And he's just seen that one over the line. And we'll have a boundary throw in.
Clinton Gallio's mainly played forward this quarter. It's pretty deep in the goal. He's played the majority of the game in the midfield. But Brandon Rusker as well, I reckon he's played pretty well. He's only a young kid for districts, but I reckon it's his best game of senior football I've seen him play. I think he's probably only played about 5 or 6, but showing some signs today.
So advantage paid. Ben Rioli gets his second and the Saints second. Have a look at this.
1, 2. Surely 3. Any more? Get around him, boys. 4. 5.
It's all happening in the high fives.
And the move has worked. They've put him forward. He's kicked 2 goals. He hasn't let the coach down. So,
well, man, he had to do something, surely.
And created some energy, and that's what you need. He's a terrific player, but he creates energy for his team. So it's good that he's gone forward. Kicked a few goals. Well done, Ben.
I want to see 17 high fives next time, please, Ben. That was...
Remember, Ben, when Impex first started, they were dredging the harbour.
Right.
He had to make sure that none of the fish got in the way of the dredger. So apparently he did a dugong mainly.
Yeah.
Make sure the dugong didn't get in the way.
Oh, look at this. This is unbelievable.
So quick with the replies.
That's what's killed him.
So Farah, to the tune of Will Farah, takes a mark on the slide angle.
See if he's run up. He's gone back a bit further. Already, I reckon it's looking better.
3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's done the different run up. Kick on the way. It's a bit better. Straight through the middle.
That time.
That's better from a big Will Farah.
I reckon Shannon Rusker will cut up a bit of vision of the first couple of kicks, and then we'll cut up a bit of vision of that kick, and he will compare the two and say, I reckon the second one's a little bit better. Will. So he is, as I said, he's got lovely, good technique. He's just drifted away from it. But I reckon, Matty, you hit it right. There's nothing worse than kicking a goal. A player gets up, gets a bit of energy into your footy team, and it gets replied that quickly. It just kills it. It's so frightening. Good sides do that as well, but it just takes away that energy that you've created.
Yeah.
There we go. Big leap there from Delahunty. Well, this one's chopped off by Delahunty, charging inside 50 in the Smith direction. He's got out-muscled there, Big Smith. Oh,
took him high
big
there.
high tackle. He's asking what for.
I was going to say, man the mark, Ryan.
He absolutely ripped Swartz's head off.
That's good manning the mark. Well done.
Done very well, Big Smith. Swartz with a long kick. And that one's over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Good of James Quinn, halved the contest. He played in the Div 1 last week, but fought back well and got his place back in the side, so halved the contest well. Saints have still got in their forward line.
So Guildford wins a clever tap down. Crocs are away here if they get it. A quick tap on. No, it's cut off. Here's Shannon Rioli charging towards goal. Just overcooked the kick a touch.
Ben Rioli here.
Ben Rioli with a big tackle. Umpire circling. And they'll throw it up.
Thought it was going to go over the back to him. He was waiting at the back, especially when his brother Shannon had the 40 with a bit of space is usually dangerous.
Ball through back up. Smith went very early.
Ryan won the cuddle or something.
Ryan went before the ball was even thrown in the air. That one's over the line. We'll have another boundary throw in.
Saints calling for deliberate.
I love watching Ryan Smith. He's a funny man. I don't know what he's asking for. He was asking for some free kick. I don't know what for.
Played forward a lot this season, Ryan.
So Guildford works his way to the front spot. Gets a nice tap down. He's Ogden.
A bit quiet.
Running out of room to bounce there.
So the kick out sideways. Good contest there, out there. Here's Braden Rioli. Handballs it to himself. Community style. Loving that work. He might get it back. Just ran into trouble though. Chopped off. There's a free kick coming back.
Unlucky Saints. They look like they're going to score.
Yeah, I thought so too, Ricky. Yeah.
I thought Benjamin Taylor was away then. Would have been a definite goal.
Keep this in the forward half, you Saints. Press up. A little bit too loose.
Yeah, they've worked this well. Here's Thorne. Found his way in the back line.
I can tell he's moving well if he's pushing that far up the field. It's good.
He's done the old 1-2, gets it back, gets another handball over the top. He's done the old 1-3. Have a look at that work. So they're in the middle of the ground. Staunton just overruns it.
You've got to turn this footy over, Saints, here.
Mummery.
And umpires plucked the free kick. Down Staunton.
So just about 20 minutes gone here in the third quarter. Staunton goes sideways. They'll look to hold it up.
You are, of course, watching 7-2's coverage of the NTFL thanks to TIO, NAFLs, Apia and MacArthur River Mining. 20 minutes gone in the third quarter.
Ball kicked inside but chopped off by the Saints. Jack Long, he's been quiet this quarter. Gets a handball out to Stapleton. Does well, the big man in the Smith direction. Flies. Just drops it at the last moment. Stays in the contest. Puts a tackle on Smith. Well done by Sonny Dan. Gets a tap out to Ben Rioli. Goes in with the head. Umpire says he'll throw it up.
Good umpiring, Mark Noonan. I think he was looking for the head-eye free kick. Very good umpiring, but he's the most experienced man going around.
He's a great man, Mark Noons. Great umpire.
Some good TV commercials at the moment I've seen lately.
Talk about that real soon. Here's Shane Thorne. I'm one of his biggest fans, Mark Noonan. So Thorne does well. We go, taps it straight to Saunders. Saunders just drops it at the last moment. Rioli gets taken in a head-eye tackle. Josiah Farah can't believe it. That's Sonny Dan, is it? Yeah, it is.
Lucky Saints there. A couple of fumbles that just shouldn't be happening at this level. But I think Sonny Dan fumbled as well, but was rewarded with a head-eye tackle. Sonny Dan from Broome. Kicked large numbers, around 70 and 80 goals in that competition. Had a stint in the Waffle and had also played for Southern Districts a few years ago.
So I've just got a few players down here off the ball. I think that's Shane Thorne too, by the looks of it, from the Crocs.
Too much running.
Gavin Durkay from St Mary's just gets to his feet and is just hobbling towards the bench. Doesn't look... Looks all right. He might be able to run that one out. Shane Thorne gets to his feet. He looks maybe he might have copped one in the head. He looks a little bit groggy there, Matty.
All players up now, which is a good sign.
Shane Thorne's just stopped for the moment. Anyway, back to the action. It's Sonny Dan.
We'll kick this one. 20 metres out. 45-degree angle. Should be kicking him at this level of footy.
So jogs in and he's missed it. Rick, I might get you to leave actually, if you can.
I don't think I've backed a player in all year.
Commentator's curse.
There would have been 40 people I've pumped up and they've missed it every time.
We've got to start recording these because you do it all the time. Anyway, ball kicked back in.
I actually don't think there's been one this all year.
Yeah, right, Ricky. I think you're right there.
Josh Innes on half-back for the Crocs.
Might bag him and it'll go through the middle.
Harris just needed to swoop down on that. Here's Shan Rioli. Does well. Keeps Saints in the contest. Shan gets it back. Handball over the top to Tyler Saunders. Cleaner take that time. Kick on the way. He's to the left. And through for another behind.
Talk about one grab in the footy. Chris Paris, one grab gave off to Shannon Rioli. Shannon Rioli, one grab and Saints have a shot at goal. So just the difference between fumbling and the first grab in the football.
Wheeler to Gallio.
Crocs want to move it quick here if they're going to get a goal before the siren goes.
Jack Long just missed the tackle on Mummery. You don't see him miss too many tackles, the big boy. Musgrove charging through the little man does well. Although it's bad and keeping it going forward. Braxton Armat just worked out of it from Farah. McAdam at the back. Runs into trouble. Gets a handball out to Ogden. Ogden off a step to a dangerous position. That's again St Mary's at ground level. And there it is. Saved by the bell. It's three-quarter time here at TIO Stadium, where it's St Mary's 15 to Southern District 6-9-45. We'll be back with the final quarter right after this.
She's flying down to Alice today. Don't forget to put away the garden furniture.
Yep, got it.
And just remember the TIO weather alerts. Garden furniture!
Love you too.
She's off, but he's still got TIO. They cover you for territory weather, cyclone, storm surge, flood, hail, and they're local, so they can respond fast.
TIO. Storm's staying, kids.
So we can feel, really feel, together being real, together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me down.
Another life saved with the Chemist Warehouse app. Take control of your health and wellness. Download now.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice, still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
Good evening, patrons. Can I just make an announcement? Lights left on in the car park. A silver Ford dual cab ute with the registration plate AS8659. With WA number plates, your car lights are on. I'll just repeat the registration plate. That is AS8659, and those number plates hail from Western Australia. Thank you.
Welcome back to 7-2's coverage of the TIO NTFL season. St Mary's taking on Southern District's Crocs, where it's the Crocs out by 30 points. Rick, it was good to see Saints get a few goals that quarter.
Yeah, they were played well. Ben Rioli went forward and sparked them a little bit. The only problem was every time they kicked a goal, Districts just answered it too quickly. That was the only problem.
They replied straight away. As I just see the runner, Raf Clark, who's been missing the last couple of weeks with her concussion. They definitely miss him today, Maddie.
Yeah, certainly are. The other interesting takeaway from that is that Districts really could have had a few more goals. Willie Farah missed a couple of clean ones. But, Ricky, you did notice that earlier in the game he had a different goal-kicking strategy to last year. He kicked 55 goals last season, changed it a little bit, and that's when he got some.
Yeah, just a few more steps. That's pretty simple. So he just went from 2 steps to 6.
As we're back underway in the final quarter, Smith in the middle for St Mary's. Paredes overruns it, goes and wins it, puts a head down, gets crunched in a big tackle. And we'll have another boundary. Sorry, not a boundary.
He's just a machine, Nathan. Look at him, he just gives his heart and soul for the St Mary's Footy Club every week. So just gives it everything, Nathaniel.
So ball thrown back up. Smith and Gilhouse go at it. So nice work there from Abbott, charging out of the pack. So they're inside 50 now. It's Staunton. Goes with the one hand, does well. And that one's gone over the line, and we'll have a boundary throw in deep in attacking 50 for the Crocs.
Look good, Darren Abbott coming out of the pack then. Alice Springs boy played in the grand final for South in the Alice Springs competition.
So ball thrown back in. Smith do battle. Staunton off a step. So they've worked it out through Richardson. Sonny Dan charging through the ball. Gets wrapped up. We'll have a stoppage at half back for Crocs.
Done well, Districts. They've targeted with the new fly-in rules, but you're allowed to bring players from inside the Northern Territory. Picked up a couple of good ones from Alice. It costs a little bit of money to get them up here, but it's not a bad recruiting ploy. See Abbott again diving in there from Alice Springs.
Paredes there again for St Mary's, just standing over the top.
Dylan Barry, player they got last year from there. I think he won the medal in the Alice Springs League. So it's a good pickup. It's not one of your 4 fly-ins. So it's not a bad recruiting ploy.
So, big tackle over the back. And get a high free kick.
McMurtry.
There's McMurtry at the bottom of that one.
Nice mow, Jimmy. It's going well.
It's pretty dirty. So it's a bit of a dodgy kick. That is dropping the ball. Umpire says play on though. So the Saints go charging inside. Ben Rioli caught at the back. Crocs with numbers. Gallio. And that one's cut off again by Davies. Finds Richardson. Richardson kicks to 2 Crocs players. And it's Gilhouse that takes the mark. Just off a step that time, the big man. Got time. So they've done well here, the Crocs. Could have been 50. Umpire says no problems there. So they're away here through Ogden with a long penetrating kick. Pops out the back. Staunton does well. Mummery over the shoulder. Does it have the legs? It does. Takes out the goal umpire.
That's pretty gutsy by the goal umpire.
It is.
We'll see if he gives the decision. That is unbelievable.
Wow. He was right on it. He wasn't moving, was he?
That's courageous.
And Southern Districts
to your job.
Extend the lead 7-9-51 to St Mary's. 2-3-15, just the 3 minutes gone here in the final quarter.
Well done by Ogden there. I reckon he could have gone to Will Farah, which would have put him in a really bad angle, but went to the top of the square. Good roving by Dean Staunton as well.
That was, yeah,
You see, you got Will Farah that was on a lead there, kicked to there, it's a pretty, he's gone to the top of the square, just put the Saints defenders under pressure. I don't know why Dean Staunton nearly could have ran in, unselfishly gives it to Mummery. Mummery turns around and kicks the goal.
Back in the middle we are. Lachlan going off the deck. So they win the clearance again, although it's cut off. They've done well, St Mary's. They've just run it outside.
Ball still in play here.
Just a bit scrappy. Paredes cops one high. So he'll get the free kick. He's trying to milk the 50 there, the big boy. Nothing's doing.
On the last two best and fairest for Saints. Nathan, sometimes you get a bit lucky, and when this guy walks through the doors of your football club, I think St Mary's won Tats Lotto.
So Paredes plays on. Penetrating kick. Just pops out the back. Braden Rioli there. Well done. That's just popped over here to Stapleton. Just overruns it. Ben Rioli gets a handball back. He receives the 1-2. Goes inboard. Richardson gets crunched by Staunton. Holding the ball. So they're away. Farah to McAdam. Just chips it over the top. Umpire says play on. So they're inside 50 now. Farah out on the charge. Look at that leap. Had the arms chopped. Umpire says play on. Bodies flying everywhere. They're out. Mummery for 2 in a row. Goal.
No need to run into the goal sticks there. That one's nice and easy.
So Crocs with the answers in the final quarter. Push it out to 42 points.
Deep entry. Will Farah given a contest. Brings the ball to ground. The chaos footy. And Mummery kicks 2 in 2 minutes.
So another one that was overlooked.
See, I'd love to see Willie just keep his feet here. You see him have unbelievable athleticism there.
That leap.
I'd love him to try and keep his feet so he can get that sort of second effort. But
And then it popped, yeah, it just popped out the back
Good
there
umpiring.
and worked out well for him anyway.
Hi, Brodie Rayner there, flying up from, I think he's down in Adelaide now. Dominating life down there, the big boy. So Farah in the middle, drops up one, Rioli. Just a bit scrappy. Bodies flying around everywhere. McLaughlin, Gallio.
That was clever.
Does a bit of a strange kick in the air.
So when Richardson marked his own mark.
Yeah. Here he goes, Richardson just holding on. Umpire blindsided though, Richardson. It's a kick long, but it's McAdam, although he drops a mark. And they're away here. Gwynn lowers the eyes, Ben Rioli. Could have got a free kick. Handball's out to himself, but just gets held up.
Yeah, they've got good numbers behind the footy then, Districts.
Here's Rioli again, goes and wins the ball, throws it on the right, kicks it into the pocket. Ball in dispute. Would have been a high free kick. Again, yeah, they've paid it.
He's done well, Quinn, there. He's kicked the ball to Ben, and Ben should have marked it. And he butters up with a couple of second and third efforts, so well done to the young fella.
James Quinn, good work rate there, as Rick said.
Difficult kick from here. He'll kick it now because I've said that I've bagged him already.
So there's one you've already done. This could be 2. Rick's stats.
I'm going to say this was a difficult kick.
This is Rick's stats here. Okay, what's he going to do? He's missed that one.
It's a low flyer.
That's across the face.
Your shit, James.
Through for a behind.
That was a goal, James Quinn.
2-4 to 8-9 Southern Districts in control.
It's a lovely kick.
Up by 41 points. It's a drop mark there from Bowden. Does well though, wins his ball back. Scrappy kick. Tom Davies with a strange looking handball over to Jack Long. Shan Rioli, handballs out to space. The big boy in Delahunty is held on to. The Crocs again with all the answers, although Tyler Saunders cuts that one off. McLaughlin for the Crocs, charging through, kick inside to McAdam all by himself. Can stroll into the open goal and kick it. So there's the nail straight in the coffin.
Before, if we went back a minute, I think it was Bowden had the ball and Mummery didn't lead up on him. Jack Long was good starting points on him. didn't lead up on him, but then he's been rewarded for a touch of laziness. I think he got it out the back, and he's kicked 3 goals in a row. But yeah, he's needed to hit up on it when Bowden had the footy before, and then just waited back. Jack Long cut it off, but then he got him because St Mary's turned the footy over through the middle of the field.
So here we go, back in the middle. All thrown up. Charging out the Crocs again, wrapped up by Tyler Saunders, a tackling machine. He's been on fire today. Braden Rioli goes with the one hand. Saunders gets wrapped up. Paris with some fancy footwork turns it straight over. And they're away here, the Crocs. Ogden takes on the tackler, does well, throws it on the right, lowers the eyes. So the kick inside 50, just out of reach of young Staunton. And we'll have a boundary throw in deep in attacking 50 for the Crocs.
Work rate very, very high. Dean Staunton then. A bit unlucky it didn't take that mark. But they didn't blaze away then, Districts. Just held the footy. Well done.
So ball thrown back in. Farah flies for the Crocs, beats Smith to it. So a kick out of nothing. Comes back. Good mark there from Jack Long. So a dangerous kick to the top of the square then, Rick.
Yeah, that's well done by Jack Long. It's a very long kick of the football.
So Crocs with the numbers here is Brandon Rusker. Just out of reach, Charlie McAdam. Saints with the numbers though. Tom Davies gets a handball over the top. He might receive it back. This is better from the Saints. Gwynn.
It's nice to see them get it out past that the 50 there.
I was going to say, Districts getting too many repeat entries.
Yeah,
when you're getting a lot of repeat entries, it usually ends up in a goal.
Yeah.
Sam Smith. So there's a free kick coming back. And 50 metres. Bit of lip service to Mark Noonan.
Don't do that to Mark Noonan.
You do not speak to Mark Noonan. I might be going down to the rooms after these. Don't you speak to Mark Noonan like that. The great man. Bit of lip service. Free kick set.
It must have been new to territory footy, whoever did that.
So the kick inside 50. Is Sonny off a step outside of the boot. It's a great goal.
Yeah.
Well done, young man. Sonny Dan.
And with his first game for the club.
It's been great today.
From Broome. And well done by Cameron Vigona. Cameron played a couple of seasons at Tiwi Bombers. I think he's living now back in Darwin. He was a St Mary's junior. Then was living over the island. Now he's back in Darwin. But well done to his Camden here as well, who got the ball out to him.
I saw there's a nice kick on the outside of the boot, wasn't it? I saw in the paper the other day, you know, when they do like the street talk and they ask people, you know, in the NT News a random question. Yeah. I think young Lambton was in there the other day.
Yeah, right. I often see them in the Darwin Mall and you walk to the other side.
The NT News.
Yeah. You see the NT News and you get your phone out and pretend you're someone's talking.
I do that when the people ask you to sign up for something. It's just embarrassing when the phone rings, that's all. As we're back in the middle. And then Brandon Rusker off a step.
Wow, that's a big kick.
Deep inside, attacking 50 for the Crocs. Big fly there from Mummery.
Well done, Ryan McMurray.
Tommy Davies gets run down but gets a kick away. Smith flies for the Saints. But again, Crocs at ground level. Geez, something exhilaration there from Pemberton.
I'd execute the handball though.
Paredes does well in the pack. He's going to get it back. No, that's Paris. There's bodies flying around. There's some tired bodies out there for now. Paredes, have a look at that. Says, get out of my way. Sam Smith, again charging through. Geez, he's good. Was about to receive. Was just getting absolutely held onto by big Ryan Smith from the Saints. And Noons has paid a free kick here.
He'd have to be high up in the Nichols medal, I reckon, Sam Smith.
They'd have to be.
They're winning games as well. So usually when you're winning games, you're getting the 3 votes.
So Sonny Dan wins a free kick. Goes long in the Ryan Smith direction.
Benny Rioli.
Circling, looking dangerous. Gets a handball over.
Please give it back to
the top. Benny Rioli goes a snap, but it's just miscued. And
downfield.
Looks like he's, he has got, must have been dropped after it.
James Quinn hanging around.
So we just have a look at the replay here. Oh, a bit soft there. Isaac White. Start putting him down after he got rid of it.
James Quinn.
James Quinn with the kick. Doesn't run around. Just goes the traditional drop punt. And the Saints get 2 in a row.
And I didn't say anything about it, and I went straight through the middle.
We want to keep this up, Rick. You might ruin team's finals campaign.
Usually when I'm pumping a player up.
Your heart's in the right place.
Yeah. We know what you're trying to do, Rick. It's all right.
5 goals, probably be lucky to be 8
Beautiful
minutes to go.
Darwin
Yeah.
sunset on screen at the moment.
Have a look at that.
Glorious.
It's a bit cooler today. Usually winds, it's not too bad for Darwin weather.
Tell you what, it's been stinking all week, though, isn't it?
You know, they'll aircon this stadium one day, you won't.
Through global warming, or? Anyway, Chanrioli, Paredes, spins around. He's Musgrove for the Saints. I like his footwork. So Paredes gets it back. Throws it on the right in the Benny Rioli direction. Flies. And arms chopped. Advantage paid. And that is out of bounds on the full.
Now, I don't know about playing on when you're 40 metres out and you're under pressure, you're having a shot, and look, throwing the word, nearly a champion of territory footy in Benny Rioli can have a shot. I don't know about playing on from that situation. Let Ben have a shot from 40 out under no pressure.
He's Innes. Good contest. He's Braden Rioli. It's a cheeky handball out. He'll get it back. Accelerates, throws it on the left, across the face. Stays in. Ben Rioli wins the ball back. Snaps across the shoulder. Sonny Dan. No, it's through for a point.
Braden's got a bit of X factor, hasn't he? When he puts the burners on, it's...
It was quick off the mark there.
Yeah, within a couple of metres, he's got...
Well, he looked like his brother then, didn't he?
He did.
Taken off.
Yeah, there's just a little bit about him to like. That's poor checking for Saints.
So 16 minutes gone. There's, Shane Thorne back on the ground, so he's no worries. It's a kick over to Farah to the tune of Josiah. Take some time off the clock, although it's chopped off. Gwynn as well. It's a scrappy kick. Is Gallio. Walter Jr. does well, throws it on the right, puts it in, attacking 50 for the Crocs, charging through. It's Mummery. Dangerous kick out the back. McAdam there, miscues it. Goes the banana! Straight through, no! Straight through for a point, I mean.
So Jess Hooper, you have the contest there. Good, come out from the forward line, brought the ball to ground. Good contest. Boy from Yarrawonga and the others in Murray. I think they've got 2 players from Yarrawonga. Anyone know who's famous from Yarrawonga?
Bryce Miller, who I went to school with, who moved over to Bendigo.
No. He sells a lot of lamb on Australia Day.
Oh, Kekovic.
Kekovic.
Is he from Yarrawonga?
Before he went to North Melbourne.
Know that. There you go.
Because as a territory boy, when you say Yarrawonga, I think that line around Berrimah and Wanelli. It's just an industrial estate, isn't it?
He grew up in a warehouse. We're starting to lose it a bit here. 17 minutes gone in the final quarter. Ball thrown back in. O'Shan Rioli, the captain for Saints. Gets that one down. Bowden drops it. Umpire says play on. Here's McAdam. He's had another good game. It's the thing you got to ask, Rick. Like you said, Sam Smith has, probably been polling well, but who's been stealing votes? Because there's right across the board. Like Clinton Gallio's another gun, isn't he?
I always find players in their first year, the umpires don't get to know them. Like I remember Paredes a couple of years ago, I thought was clearly the best player in the comp and hardly scored a vote. Just the umpires hadn't got to know him.
Shane Thorne gets ragdolled to the ground. Ball pops out. Rusker. And that one's over the line again.
18 minutes into the fourth quarter. You are watching 7-2's coverage of the NTFL thanks to TIO NTFL, Apia and MacArthur River Mining.
Zeb Gillius ready to come back on the field.
So Smith for St Mary's wins that tap down.
Good Dean Staunton today.
Staunton charging through, puts it inside 50. Will Farah out. Jack Long goes the shoulder charge, misses him, and kicks that one straight out of bounds on the full.
He played for Woodville West Torrens, Zeb Gillius, in the off season. They were pretty unlucky. Woodville in the preliminary final, the opposition, I think it was North Adelaide, had too many on the field for a while. Went to court, they lost, and North Adelaide went on and won the SNFL Premiership. So
there was a lot of drama around that, wasn't there?
Yeah, and Zeb was playing pretty well for Woodville.
Isaac White with a beautiful kick. Yeah, there was plenty of drama around that, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Jess Hooper, the boy from Myrtleford. Yarrawonga, I should say, come up with Harry Wheeler. Just got up here a couple of rounds ago. So fairly strong competition in Victoria. Not as strong as it was, but still fairly strong.
Jess Koopman up on the boundary. Kick on the waist. Nice off the boot. Straight through. Well done, Jess Koopman. What's the icing on the cake for an impressive Southern Districts outfit? This guy's unbelievable.
I haven't heard any rumours of merging.
Well, they're both struggling.
That's a fair kick, that.
It was, wasn't it?
Ball gets pretty slippery the final minutes of the game. So
great kick.
Good pass as well. But, yeah, it's a fair kick at this stage of the game, late in the game.
Two strong clubs, St Mary's and the Crocs.
It's been a big bounce back for Southern Districts. Of course, they won 6 on the trot, the first 6 opening games, and lost one last week, but they've put their mark back on the competition again.
So out on the outer wing, Paredes gets tripped over. Yeah, he's won the free kick. So he takes his own advantage too. That one chopped off by Sam Smith. He's done that all day. He's had an absolute blinder. Goes out wide to Harry Wheeler. Harry Wheeler comes inboard, finds Pemberton. Pemberton wheels around, kicks up to centre half forward. Gallio flies from the back. Tom Davies drops a mark. They're away again. McLaughlin straight through. It's just starting to get a bit messy here.
He ran hard to get that ball, McLaughlin, from the centre of the ground. Good crumbing goal.
It's been tough for Saints because when they've been on, they've been linking up really well. It just doesn't reflect on the scoreboard. I think it's at 4-5-29.
I think just when they do score goals, it's District's ability to answer it quickly.
Yeah, that comeback, Ricky, yep.
McLaughlin done very well there. Charged through. Good gut running.
Shannon Rioli back on the field into the middle.
Have a look at great Mark Noonan. Just had a baby too recently. Great man. Congratulations to Mark and the wife. We're back in the middle. We'll have a stoppage. No. Holding the ball.
To see Ben Taylor, when he's got the ball running towards Saints Way, even if he took that clearly, he's still running in the opposite direction.
So to a 3-on-1, Ryan Smith roving. Gets a handball out, but again, Crocs with all the numbers and all the answers. Comes out wide to McAdam. McAdam throws it on the left. Clever kick, and that's Abbott. So he goes inboard. Dangerous position. And Bowden just weighing up the options. Goes backwards. We'll drop mark there from Thorne. It has time, gets it back. He looks a lot better than what he did before.
God, he worked hard here, Dean Staunton. Really hard to get that footy.
Staunton. Dangerous kick to Farrow, just out of reach.
Might run on though. Oh.
So just in dispute in the goal square.
Simon Richardson, well done.
He's done well, Richardson, although he's held on They're a little bit too long.
Milked that a little bit, I think.
And Koopman again. So Koopman up against the boundary line. Kicked one from the opposite pocket not that long ago.
Yarrawonga, the great Brendan Vivola, playing a couple of premierships for Yarrawonga as well.
So Koopman on the approach. That one's across the face. Still in play. Saunders.
Can't mess it up here.
Miscues.
Out there.
It's done well, Saunders. It's a handball. It's a dodgy one. And they're away through Benjamin Taylor. Just chips it over the top. Harris. No.
Jordan Callan.
So he goes long down the line. So his body's flying around everywhere. Noons has put the whistle away. We'll have a boundary throw in.
I reckon the siren will go any minute. There wouldn't be. We're into the 25-minute mark. One of the longer quarters, but Districts have kicked a few goals this quarter.
It's quite strange the quarter's going this long, isn't it?
Compared to the other ones this game, certainly.
So big tackle there from James Quinn.
Just looking forward, boys, next week, St Mary's will go up against the Darwin Buffaloes here again at TIO Stadium, and Districts up against the Magpies next week, but it's game, set, match here at TIO Stadium today, Nick.
Southern Districts, too good in the end. 11-10, 76 to 4-5. 29, it was all Districts, wasn't it, Ricky?
Yeah, it was the premiers, top side, one of the flag favourites. So, they did well. Districts, a bit of a slow game, probably not the best game we've seen this year, but they got the 4 points, and that's what they're coming for.
Matty, who stood out to you from the Crocs?
Sam Smith in the back line there, just sensational. That first half, every time Saints went in, he just chopped it off. And as Ricky said, Dean Staunton's worked great today as well. I know certainly a lot of goal assists as well. I don't know how many he actually got himself, but hovering around in that forward half there, really vital in the Crocs win.
Well, it was all the Crocs. Too good in the end. It was Southern Districts 11-10, 76 to St Mary's 4-5, 29. Thanks for joining us this week on 7-2. We'll see you back here next week.